it's hard to consent when the person was being drugged without their knowledge.
A lot of abusive treatment of employees, I guess.
Serious allegations. MrBeast's team, they are denying these allegations.
Obviously, when he responds is when there's going to be the highest level of visibility. So you want to have the most new evidence against him.
Man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
You know, there's been a lot of videos of people exposing MrBeast, all these allegations.
Allegations that started with this channel here. And I worked for MrBeast. He's a fraud. Ever since then, there has been a tremendous amount of commentary channels and news outlets keeping up with his uploads because he has been telling the behind the scenes horrors of MrBeast's empire.
And he hasn't addressed none of them. I kind of felt this coming, you know, because MrBeast, he was such on a trajectory, positivity. He was wondering like, damn, is he that clean? Like there's nothing on him? Like nobody trying to expose him? Or they were just waiting for the right time because it seems like everybody just coming out the woodworks right now.
It does get annoying when the person that everyone knows as a saint, as someone who is the complete opposite.
And even ex-contestants like Rosanna Pansino got raked through the coals for even suggesting a MrBeast competition wasn't handled correctly in 2023.
People may not be wanting to hear this or willing to hear it right now, and I think time will do its thing. I think the truth always surfaces.
My goal was just to shine light on the things that I thought were problematic and I brought up as being problematic during my time at the company. And even before the company, like people found my old Reddit account with like comments about them promoting gambling or whatever, or like not doing the sweepstakes properly, which I thought was shady. And then I brought those problems up at the company. I sort of felt like I felt like a waiter on the Titanic being like, yo, iceberg. And they're like, no, there's no iceberg.
With somebody having that type of influence and power, right? It's kind of hard to, especially that image of MrBeast. You never want to think, oh yeah, he does all this stuff wrong. He's been such on a clean road where if you hear somebody like this guy right here say anything negative, you just automatically think, oh yeah, it's a lie, or he's hating, oh yeah, probably because he got fired, So you really never give this type of people the benefit of the doubt until you see other people, a whole bunch of people actually coming up, having this type of allegations.
Selling fake signatures and faking videos and just like, the lengths they go to say that the videos are real when it's like they're totally not. It's just bullshit to me.
I kind of had a feeling all his videos might not be real because it's so high production and so much time invested in those videos you kind of want to have the right outcome and somebody to win or kind of the storyline, And if you just let things just go naturally, a lot can go wrong. So those high production videos, you kind of have to stage them a little bit.
So after your second video, it seemed like everybody had their eyes on you. People were saying, oh, he's shadow banned and YouTube's watching you, and Instagram banned you for some reason, even though you were only using it to talk to victims and you weren't posting on there. Did you ever get it back?
No, I haven't got it back. I got an email. It was like impersonation. Then I verified my phone number and it says it's like waiting or whatever.
That's another thing about going against these big corporations. Once you mess up the money for these companies such as like Instagram, YouTube, whatever, it's going to be kind of hard for you to stay on those platforms. So him getting banned of Instagram, shadow banned of YouTube is not very surprising to me because you're going against, because think about it, MrBeast is like YouTube's golden child. Like that's how they make majority of the money because he gets hella views and he caters to a younger audiences. So where like the revenue and these companies are willing to spend more money on the advertisement on his videos, so which equals to YouTube making more money, So them trying to tarnish that and tarnish MrBeast's name, YouTube is not going to like that. Anybody who invested their money into MrBeast is not going to like that. So they definitely going to try to eliminate any negativity possible.
Hired a PR team. He hired a celebrity lawyer. You got hit with a cease and desist from that celebrity lawyer. Like, does any of that worry you at all?
No. I mean, I have good legal backing and like, I don't know how much I want to spill the tea on the legal strategy and everything, but I think it's pretty well known that they wouldn't want to like go to discovery, and there's a lot of people who speak to me anonymously because they have NDA contracts, but if they were subpoenaed in court, then they could obviously they'd be free to, cook MrBeast alive. So
when the court is asking for witnesses, those people that sign NDAs can get subpoenaed and be able to expose more about MrBeast. So it would be best for MrBeast to not want to go that legal route, And also, if he's not lying and everything he's saying is true, he ain't got nothing to worry about in the court of law. If he got backup, if he got people that can vouch for him.
You were right. They are going to come to that. They're going to reach out to me and say they want me to say that it was consensual.
To add to this section here, not only did the victim say that the sexual misconduct from the COO LaKoya Hill wasn't consensual, but I personally spoke with another anonymous ex-MrBeast employee who was close with the victim, and they said I could share this to corroborate that story. Approximately how long did you work for Jimmy for? 2022 to 2023, when I was wrongfully terminated, and I asked, regarding the LaKoya Hill allegations of sexual misconduct, I wanted to ask if, given your closeness to the victim, you can confirm whether the altercation was non-consensual based on your knowledge. The interaction with LaKoya was non-consensual. It's hard to consent when the person was being drugged without their knowledge.
Even like the wider scope of how MrBeast operates, it just seems, with him as the head, it seems like there's a lot of abusive treatment of employees, I guess.
Right, and these are from like the accounts that you've heard from people that reached out to you and told you this specifically.
Yeah. And there's stories of like Jimmy throwing his phones at people and they get 2 years severance because they just have money to blow. And then obviously those people, severance isn't paid all out all at once, so they can't publicly say anything because that would be a breach of the termination agreement, which you have to sign to get the severance, and then you'd lose out on, a year and a half of income or whatever's left. So a lot of these people, they will speak eventually, and I know there's like, documentaries and stuff working on getting them to speak, but it's like...
But you telling me there's gonna be a Surviving MrBeast documentary coming out, bro? Nah. You said Jimmy was throwing his phone at people. Domestic abuse. But I never thought I'd see this day, to be honest with you. This is all speculative allegations. He could be lying.
On getting them to speak, but it's like all MrBeast has done with these severance packages is just buy their time, and they know that. And
they don't want to speak on the record because then they will lose their severance essentially.
Yeah, which is why I can't give any like specific stories.
Because it will basically like unnamed name somebody.
It gets out of your system in like 8 hours. So like you sleep it off and then victims couldn't like go to the hospital and get tested. Yeah. I posted that video with the roofie allegation. I was like, I'm not so sure. I went on Upaville's channel and I was like, I wasn't sure about that one. And then people had reached out to me and it was actually consistent with certain victims' stories, I guess, from people close to the victim or the victims, which is another thing is like, I made it in that video sound like there was only one LaKoya Hill victim, which was the most corroborated, which was his personal assistant. But now I'm thinking there's multiple. And the reason he got moved recently from MrBeast to become the president of Creator Global was not because my video came out. It was because there was another incident, which I know names of the incident, but like obviously there are people who still work at Beast, so that makes it tough also to like, because they're not going to talk to me and confirm anything. So, but eventually I think that information will come out.
So do you ever think that Jimmy's ever going to respond to any of this?
Oh yeah, definitely eventually. I mean, it's like, do I want to push him and sort of force his hand and make him respond and then address his response? And obviously when he responds is when there's going to be the highest level of visibility. So you want to have the most new evidence against him.
Man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
Jimmy, what did you do to this man? MrBeast, what did you do to this man? He said, I wish you would come out and speak and address the situations because I'm going to be even ready with new evidence against you. You got CEOs being accused of roofing people like the rapist chose of drugs out of your system in 8 hours. You slip it off. Yo, nah, bro. You gotta be careful who you idolize, bro.
And do this exclusive interview with us. It took her a lot of courage as well.
With Rosanna, like, yeah, in October, her entire experience was just diminished to be like, oh, you got edited out of a hide and seek video, but it's like, it's not what it was at all. It was like,
They downplayed it.
Production people telling seekers, oh, hey, Rosanna's in this room, you should go find her now so that Logan Paul can be top 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's for $1 million. And it wasn't for charity, it was to give to your fans, which, you know, I believe Zach King made 2 highly monetized, highly viral videos. So it was definitely a career incentive. And yeah, they should just be like, yeah, if you're in a competition for $1 million and people are cheating, that should be called out. I don't think that's very controversial. And then after she called it out, she got, you know, very real death threats. I don't want to speak for her, but like, you know, a hypothetical example would be like, hey, I know your niece is going to have a soccer game at this location tomorrow. Here's a picture of a gun.
Yeah.
I'm going to come kill your family.
That's terrible.
Like, not just like what I get, which is like Twitter DMs of people being like, hey, I'm going to shoot you. And like, here's an address. And I'm like, that's my old address, bitch. Like,
yeah.
I don't think you can legally host a contest and then rig it for one winner.
No.
There's a podcast clip you could pull up of Jimmy on Colin and Samir, and he says, what costs Hollywood $20 million to do, we're able to do for $2 million.
You know, hundreds of people that work on our videos, multi-million-dollar productions that no one else in the world could do for what the money we spend. Like, oh, it'd take Hollywood $20 million, I can do for 2. You know what I mean?
It's like, okay, well, how do you think you accomplish that? Is it just that you're a golden god with a superhuman IQ and just like insane work ethic? Or is it that you cut corners when it comes to compensating your employees and ensuring the safety of your contestants and the well-being of your audience, you know?
There's documentaries to come, Surviving MrBeast. A whole lot of allegations from the CEOs to the workers there. A bunch of people DMing him. Some of them are fake, coming from MrBeast, trying to bait him to say a fake story. Yo, this is crazy work. Do y'all believe it?